Good morning and welcome to Grief Inspired Live. My name is Catherine McNulty, and today we are going to be talking about 5 reasons why losing a child is really the worst kind of loss. And every time I put together a talk for these Sunday morning lives, there are certain times when things really hit me in the gut. And when they hit me in the gut, I know that this is the conversation that we have to have, because if I am shy about having the conversation, then maybe other people are too. So to me, that means that we have to have the conversation. Now, last night was daylight savings time, and we all knew that we were supposed to set our clocks ahead, which would mean we get 1 hour less of sleep. And here we are. I'm actually only 15 minutes late for when I normally start. But there's an irony here that I want to talk about, because no matter how prepared we are or how much prepared we think we are, when it really push comes to shove, it's still hard, right? So this morning I still had that moment when I looked at my clock on the wall, and the clock on the wall was different because I didn't change it last night than what my phone said. And I had that instantaneous like, oh, I'm late, I gotta get going, right? But I was prepared, or so I thought. And I think that there's some parallels there with losing anyone, but particularly with the death of a child that we can talk about as we go on today. So, death of a child, 5 reasons why it's the worst kind of loss. And I get this question a lot. I get the question, is losing a child worse than losing anybody else? And my gut reaction is to say no, because all loss is hard. Losing people that we love is hard. But there is just something about losing a child that, with every person that I talk to, with every parent that I talk to who has experienced the loss of a child, it's leading me to believe that yes, it really is the worst kind of loss that you can have. And these are the 5 reasons. This is my justification. So the number one reason why it's really the worst kind of loss is because the parent-child bond is so very strong. It's biological. We are fiercely, innately designed to protect our children, to keep them safe no matter what. We're driven to take care of them. We see them and we think to ourselves, this is the cutest baby I've ever seen in my life. This is the cutest child I've ever seen in my life, and I will protect them fiercely. And it doesn't matter whether they're the cutest baby or not. You think that they are the cutest baby. They are your baby. You are biologically driven to protect them, to keep them safe. And that love, we talk about being a mama bear. I am a total mama bear. And that love is the only word that I can use, is fierce. We are designed to fiercely protect them. One of my videos that's one of the most popular ones is guilt. And when we talk about guilt, why is guilt so hard when you've lost a child? Because you feel like it's your responsibility to take care of them, to protect them, to keep them safe. And when they die, somehow we feel responsible for not being able to keep them safe, whether it was in our control or not. That feeling, that guilt is still there. So the number one reason I think why losing a child is the worst kind of loss is because of that parent-child bond. And you've heard me talk before about the amount of grief that you experience is directly equivalent to the amount of love that you had in their heart. The depth of the pain is equal to the depth of the love that you had for them. And there is no love greater, in my opinion, than a parent-child bond. And it literally tears me up when I think of it. And doesn't it do the same to you? So the number 2 reason why losing a child is the worst kind of loss is because it goes against the natural order of things. Our kids are supposed to outlive us. And we believe that because that's what happens most often. Most often, parents have children, parents get older, parents die, children take care of them, and then ultimately they will die too. That's the natural order of the world. That's what our expectation is. So when a child dies prior to the parent, it goes against that natural order. And it's just something that, we've heard. There's so many quotes and phrases. No parent should have to bury their child. It's true. It's true. And yet so many of us do. And I think that that's why it's hard. And I think that that's why, talking here, it's why it's so hard. Because it goes against the natural order. Number 3, losing a child in comparison to losing anyone else is really, it's not necessarily, it's the loss of the future. It's not just a loss of the past. So think for a moment of someone that you know that's an older adult who has passed away. Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's an older aunt, maybe it's a friend, somebody at work, a colleague. We love them so much, and that pain hurts when they die too. And it's sad because there's all these things that we've shared with them over however long we've known them, however long we've been with them, that we're not going to get to experience again. And that's sad. And that leaves us sad. So we won't hear the way they sound, the way they say their name, or the advice that they give, or, the sound of their laughter. I had a dear friend who was basically an aunt of another friend, and I feel so grateful to have met her. And she used to be the one person that I would go to because she just had this amazing way about her. And when she called me Kathy, the way she called me Kathy and the way she told me to calm down and not worry so much and know that it's going to be okay, it was so special. And she made me feel safe. She reminded me that I was going to be okay. And when I lost her, it made me sad because we weren't going to be able to, share our coffee together. And I think of her a lot when I drink coffee, because I loved having coffee with her. We're not going to have that again. All of those past things that were so joyous, that's what I focus on. That's what I focus on for her that I've lost. But with a child, it's different. It's the loss of the future. And all the memories, the loss of all the important events that we hold on to and that we looked forward to. So think about all of the holidays, right? So I'm here today, I've gotten out some of my Easter things because Easter is upon us. St. Patrick's Day is around the corner, but we decorate for Easter. And even though I'm a McNulty, right? But we do those things, and these decorating, I do this for my son now, my son Mason. But every time I do it, I think, Jackson's not going to get to do this with us. All of the holidays, all of the Christmases, all of the birthdays. We're not going to get to do them. And so it's a loss of the future, not necessarily as much a loss of the past. And it can go both ways. But I think that what's unique about losing a child is that you tend to focus so much more on the future and the things that you're not going to get to have. And again, going back to that natural order, these are the things that you're supposed to have. These are the things that most other people get, right? Their birthdays every year. Seeing them graduate from college, watching them get married, having their own kids, all of those things. It's what's normal. It's what's expected. It's what we feel robbed of when we don't have it. and look at all the things we do, right? So I sat here today so that you could see some of the pictures behind me. I can hold it up, right? These are the things we do for our kids. We have photo shoots and we take these photos and we plaster them on our walls because we want to create these memories and we want to share everything with them. And the bond is so special and we want to hold on to it, right? The locket that I have around my neck, this is my locket for Jackson. And there's pictures of him in here. These are the things that we do for our children that make them so special. And it's a way to show how much we love them, right? So it's a loss of the future, not just a loss of the past. It's a loss of both. It's a loss of both. So the number 4 reason why losing a child and the death of a child is so hard is because, we're invested in their future. When we decide to be parents, whether we intended to become parents or not, when we decide to have that baby or to bring that baby into our home, we make a commitment and it's a decision. And then we spend however much time it is, days, months, years, investing into it. We give everything that we have day in and day out. And anybody who's a parent knows that it's not easy, right? And there's struggle and there's heartache and there's fear and there's worry that you've invested into, and you've invested emotionally, financially, spiritually, mentally. You've put a lot into this. You've given your all. And when that's taken away, wow. I don't have to tell you how that feels. When it's all taken away. And then, going back to the special events, think of all the special events, right? My son Mason, I'm already planning, right? I'm already looking forward to, I'm thinking about, his schooling, and I'm thinking about him graduating, and I'm thinking about, wow, what would it be like, when he graduates from high school, when he gets a degree from college, when he gets married, when he starts having his own family. Wow, right? Mind-blowing, particularly now when he's only not even 8 years old. But it's all an investment, and everything that we do is leading them toward that future. We are investing in their future. It's like investing in a bank account. I mean, imagine putting money into a bank account every week, only to have somebody later come and take it and say, sorry, all of your investment is gone. I've had that experience in other areas of my life. But that's not what we're talking about here. It's an investment. And it's feeling as if someone stole from you what you should already have, what you deserve, what you invested into. And that's what makes it so hard. And the last reason why I think losing a child is harder than any other type of loss is because, and you've heard me say this before, we don't talk about it enough. It's a loss that's harder than the average loss, and yet we don't talk about it. And we don't expect this type of loss. No one expects this type of loss. Think of your friends around you. Think of your parents. They don't expect you to have lost a child. So they're not prepared either. As unprepared as you are, they are too. You don't have a choice. You have to deal with it. But the people around you, avoidance is normal. They don't know how to prepare for this. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to help. And the reality is that there isn't a lot that other people can do to help. The only thing they can really do is sit in the pain with you and try to understand what you're going through and be there for you and give you a space to listen. And here's the thing, I do this all of the time. And the reason why I do this is for some God-given reason. God has given me the ability to sit in this space with other people. Like, my own loss is hard. But sitting in the space with other people and holding them and listening to them is really a responsibility that I feel like I have, because I can do that. And there's lots of really good-hearted people who want to be able to do that, who understand how important it is, but they're just not built for it. And it's just not something that they're able to do. And when you find somebody in your world who's able to sit in your pain and sit in your loss, be grateful for them. Be so grateful for having them. Because, as you know, your heart is broken. And the whole process is heartbreaking for everyone. It really, really is. And so it's not necessarily, you know, knowing why this type of loss is one of the hardest types of loss. It's not going to make the pain go away. I'm not going to magically make your pain go away. I'm hoping that it will help you understand it. I hope that it'll give you a framework of different perspectives, ways to think about it, and to give you hope that you can get through this, because other people have, because I have, because I've seen other people walk in the pain of this grief and come out the other side. So no matter where you are in the process, know that you are going to get through this. And the more you learn about your grief and the more you learn about yourself, the more you learn about your values, what's important to you, what you want, the life that you have, right? Your grief is about your life here without your baby, without your child, without your loved one. That's what grief is. And I call my business name Grief Inspired because it's being inspired in spite of the grief. It's being inspired because of the grief. And it's knowing that that inspiration is there and that you can find hope for your future, and your future may not be what you expect it to be, but that doesn't mean that it can't be inspired, because it absolutely can. I want to thank you so much for being here. Please share with me what's going on with you. Please like and subscribe these videos if they help you. My job is to walk with you through the pain of your grief. I want there always to be a video here that you can come to whenever you need it, to know that you're not alone in this, that you're not alone in this, and that you can get through it. And I'm here to help. So have a great day today. Take care of yourself. Get out in nature. Nature always helps. It always, always does. And take care of you. Thanks so much for watching today. Bye-bye.